Yes, people. Today we're back for another episode of Poor Cooking and Good Life Advice with Luke. Today, the topic is, should I go all in? This could be all in on business, all in on like a side hustle, your passion, whatever it is. Quit your job, drop out of college, all those big life decisions, career pivots type things. And the reason this is so top of mind for me today, the reason you should listen to me, first of all, is because my name's Luke. I started a company called Game Launch where we sell gaming coaching, and I run a YouTube channel where I do most of it. It's called Spook Luke. I have almost 500,000 subscribers over there. We've done over $2 million in sales in total over the last 3-4 years. I've done this by the age of 22. I'm gonna be 23 soon. I had to drop out of college to do it. I had overcome a lot of things, and I wish I had somebody who had gone down this path that I could talk to while I was in school, because I remember this was such a painful and difficult decision for me, and it was really difficult because I didn't have anybody in my life I could look up to, I could find, and I listened to a lot of people online, and a lot of them helped me. And so this is me kind of paying it forward. And I have a lot of people today in my life. Some are older than me, very successful in their careers. And they often ask me like, Luke, how do I know if entrepreneurship is right for me? I work a marketing job and it's pretty stable, but I don't love it. And I really do like social media. And I'm thinking about, maybe doing social media, maybe doing the content thing, maybe doing this podcast thing. How do I know if it's gonna be right for me? And this video is gonna be my answer to that, but it might not be what you want. And the reason is because here's the truth. And by the way, while I give you good life advice, we're cooking cinnamon raisin toast. And by cooking, I mean I'm putting it in my toaster. And then we're gonna put peanut butter on it. That's the breakfast for today. And so I've been making YouTube videos for the last 10 years. I remember when I was in college, I was age 20 when I dropped out for the first time. I dropped out twice because I dropped out, things went well, and then I second guessed myself, and then I went back and I dropped out again, for real, and I haven't gone back in about 2 years since. But how do you know when it's right for you? I have a lot of people who ask me this question, and the smartest ones have the most trouble with this decision of how do I know when it's time to go all in or do this thing? And if you're making a ton of money, it's easy to say like, oh yeah, just go do the thing, right? Or at least you'd think, because I was making $100,000 a month at the age of 20, and I still went back to school because I thought I needed the degree. That's how unsure I was about this decision. And the smartest people have the toughest time with this. And the reason is because right timing is a fallacy. It's not real. The school system and your work and traditional careers teach you that you can do research and figure out the answer to the decision. If I just research it enough and I make a big long pros and cons list, I'll know the answer. But here's the problem with entrepreneurship and starting a business, social media, side hustle, whatever it may be. You might think you have all the information and you know what the business is gonna be or how it's gonna work when you're kind of making your business plan, but you don't. I saw a meme and it goes something like this: level 0 entrepreneur, never before had a company. Hey man, I'll tell you my business idea, but only if you sign this NDA or non-disclosure agreement and agree to not tell anybody because it's a good idea and I don't want anybody to know. I used to be that entrepreneur. Level 5 or 10 entrepreneur is literally going to another entrepreneur, a competitor, a friend. I've got this idea. I think it could work for a company, but even if it does work, it probably won't work in the way that I think it will. And it'll take so long to execute that I'm just gonna literally tell you everything and let me know what you think. And the difference there is when you start a company, it rarely ever works in the way that you think it will, in the time that you think it will, with the exact business model that you think it will, because things change, information changes. And so without getting into like the nitty gritty of all the life lessons I've learned around this, you won't have complete information until you start. You have to start first, and then you'll figure out as you go. You'll think, I wanna start a gym. Let me give an easier example. Let me start a coffee shop. And you think you wanna start a coffee shop because you have this idea that, oh, it's gonna be a cute coffee shop. We're gonna have the best coffee and it's gonna be so friendly, it's so cozy. We're gonna have the best furniture and everybody's gonna come in. And then you realize having a coffee shop is not necessarily just about having good coffee or having nice furniture. It's about training team, figuring out where you're gonna situate your coffee shop, doing marketing for it constantly, doing sales for it constantly. And all these things about running a business, you don't even know before you start. And it's true with everything. It's true with YouTube. It's true with any of the different entrepreneurial ideas, whatever business type you're gonna run. And so, when I was in college, I used to think I could just research my way through it. And I would have my pros and cons list. And I was like, well, if I get my degree at this good school, I'll have a degree at a really good school. It'll be a nice backup. And if I do YouTube, it's gonna be a little more risky, but maybe I'll make more money and maybe there's more scalability. But I didn't know. You don't know. And once you start, in the first couple months you make videos, you realize, oh, there's this thing I didn't know about making videos. Maybe this will work or maybe it won't. Oh, there's this thing I didn't know about running this business. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. It's one of those things where you have to take action to get more information. So to all my friends who are like, I'm debating whether or not I should do this thing. I made a business plan for it. I made a whatever. I'm usually like, great, I love that. I love that you got your LLC, you made your business plan. I mean, that's the head of some people. But another part of me is just like, go sell to somebody, go do the thing. Rather than researching your way around, should I start this idea? You'll never know. You'll stay in position zero. And in fact, you'll just bring more information into the decision every day and it'll just confuse you more. And so this is going back to the idea, like the dumbest people make the best decisions. I like to think I'm generally like pretty smart in the way I do things, or at least I try to reason through it. And I made super dumb decisions in the past. Going back just quite like dropping out, going back, dropping out, going back. Why? I did because I tried to research my way through it rather than just doing it and taking action and feeling my way through it and letting results speak for themselves. And so to all the people watching this and to all my friends who are like, should I start, my podcast, or should I start my YouTube channel, or I really want to do Instagram, or I really want to start my events business, or I really want to start this, whatever. My honest answer to you is, if you have to ask yourself the question, I understand it because I used to ask it too, but until you get to the point where you can just take action and be comfortable with not having the answer today, you'll never get started and you'll never get to where you want to be. And so to my friend who wants to start an events business but has a business plan and really wants to get started, my encouragement to you is file an LLC, make a business checking account so you have somewhere to take money, open up an account with a payment processor so you have a place to accept money, and then get this, you don't need to make a business plan, you don't need to make a slide deck, go to the person who you want to sell your first event to and just say, hey, I started an event planning business. I would love to plan your first event for free because it's a brand new business and I don't have experience with this. And I would be so grateful if I did a good job, you could leave a review and tell somebody about it. Is that cool? Will you let me plan your event for free? And then boom, you got your first client. I mean, they're not paying you, but you have somewhere to start. And I'm stealing this, kind of service model from Alex Ramosi, who has a lot of success starting many more companies than me. But this is what I did. I did the same thing. I didn't start my gaming coaching business until people were in my YouTube comments begging me to do coaching. I was like, oh, and I was like, I would do this for free, but I guess I'll charge you $15 an hour. Is that cool? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well, I don't have a way to take money. I could do Patreon. Have you heard of Patreon? Yeah, let's just do that. Oh, I got PayPal. Okay, I can do PayPal. You know what? Let me figure out a better way. And then I would figure out the best way. And then I was like, okay, let's do it this way. And that's how you actually start a business. I don't know if it's just because of the media or like TV, like convincing you that you need like a business plan and you need to pitch a bunch of investors to start a company. But in the real world, that's not actually what starting a company is or looks like, at least in some of the most successful ways I've seen it with peers who have had more success than me. That's not how you start your first business. Maybe that's how you start your fifth business. Once you have expertise and you have a track record, you go to a VC fund, AKA people with a lot of money, and you say, hey, I got this idea, give me a bunch of money, and maybe they will because you have a track record. But if this is your first business and you're debating, quitting your 9 to 5 to do this, you're not gonna have the answer. And so this was a long roundabout way of hopefully me telling you that you won't have the answer before you get started if entrepreneurship for you, if starting the business for you, if your passion is right for you. But what I can tell you is that's okay. And every successful entrepreneur who is rational, who tries to weigh risks and benefits and pros and cons, we've all felt it and we've all continued to move forward anyway. And the reason that's okay is because once you do take action, you'll learn and you'll get more information. And it's this sort of paradox where the information that will help you make a good decision about if the company's gonna be successful or if it's gonna work, you'll only get that information once you start. And so this is me giving you permission to just start and for it to be messy and for you to be bad at first and for hopefully you to acknowledge that you will suck at first. And you can be transparent with people when you start and you sell, your first thing. You'd be like, hey, you're my first customer. I really just want to get this off the ground. I'll do it for free. I'll do it for super cheap. Let me help you out because you're doing me such a solid, trusting me in this first step of my career. And if you can take that approach, take that mentality, at least if I had that, I think I would have had so much more success quicker because I would have taken action quicker. And if this is me giving you permission to take action and not know the answer, let me tell you, do that. It's good. It's a good thing to just move into the unknown because that's what entrepreneurship is. And guess what? I'm at 3 or 4 years into my business journey. Entrepreneurship is a constant cycle of this. I thought I knew what I was doing at the 2 or 3 year mark. And guess what? My business model just crashed. It stopped working. It completely stopped working. The market changed. And so guess what? I figured out a new thing. And the new thing is kind of gaining traction right now. We had a test and the last, honestly, I would say year plus sucked. I was getting up and getting kicked in the balls and then falling down and getting up and getting kicked in the balls and then falling down and losing money and losing money and losing a little bit more money. And only now after 12 months of losing money have I finally gotten to where I need to be. And I'm happy that it happened this fast. So this is me trying to give you you permission to start. Entrepreneurship is risky. It will always be unknown. And if you want to succeed, you have to take action anyway. To those people who can do that, good things are coming. And if that scares you, that's okay. But if you don't want to take action, then maybe entrepreneurship isn't right for you. And that's okay, by the way. Both are okay. It's great. This is not me telling you how to live your life. This is me telling you what worked for me. If this helped you, let me know. I can make more content on this. If you want to learn more about my journey, check out some of my other videos. Click the video on screen. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.